given A and C. What I need to find out is angle B. I kind of like to make a little list of what I need to know. We were also given side B, so I need to know side C and I need to know side A. Those are the things I need to find out if I'm solving this triangle. Right. Angle B is easy. How do I find angle B? Atom, or look at it like this, 180 minus 94 minus 67. What is angle B? 19 degrees. Okay? Cool. Now to find the sides, I'm going to go up and use 2 out of the 3 of these ratios. Doesn't matter what. Since we were given these, well, now we have angle B and side B. I'm going to set up the middle ratio. Okay? So I'm going to say, all right, well, it doesn't really matter. Let's say the sine of 19 degrees, I'm working with angle B here, over side B is 25. Now, which one do you want to find, side A or side C? Let's find side C. So that means I'm going to use this angle right here. I'm going to say, okay, then the sine of 67 degrees is equal to C. Okay, so you're using 2 out of the 3 of the ratios every time, setting up a proportion. How do you solve a proportion? Cross multiply. So, this is different numbers than I had, but we should be all right. I'll work it out. The sine of 19 degrees times C equals 25 times the sine of 67 degrees. However you set up that cross multiply. And then I got to get C by itself, so I'm actually going to divide both sides by the sine of 19 degrees. Remember, it's a number. You cannot split those things up. And once you have that, you can just go to your calculator and do this math on your calculator. Make sure it's in degree mode. Hopefully you all get this, rounding to the nearest tenth. Yes. That's what I got. Yes? Are we good with that? Okay. You have options. You have 2. Oh, it's not a right triangle. You can't use the what? You can't use the Pythagorean theorem. So you've got to use another proportion to find side A. Doesn't matter which one you use. I'll just use my B proportion, my B ratio again. The sine of 19 degrees over 25. This is the B I'm using. And I still need to find A. So I have to use the A angle. Sine of 94 degrees over A. And then when you cross multiply, set up the algebra problem, you should get A is approximately 76.6. Basically, on your calculator, you can go right from this step. You can go 25 times that divided by that, can't you? Or set it up if you need to. Set up the ratio like I did here. Do you know what I mean by that, or do you need me to write that out? You okay with that? Okay, so A is 76.6. I have all 6 parts of the triangle. Not too bad? It gets a little better. Not too bad. Okay. Oh, wait, we have ASS here. Well, I don't need to think too much about it yet, but we will in a minute. So, it doesn't really matter. We can still solve the same way. What 3 things do I need? I need angle B, angle C, and what? Side C. Those are the 3 things I need. Okay, so I only have A here is the only ratio I can start with. So I'm going to say, okay, the sine of 127 degrees over 63. I only have side B, so I got to use the B ratio. And that side goes in the bottom, and it's going to be sine of B, whatever that is. Oh, we have to find an angle measure, which means we're going to use what on the calculator? Inverse. Okay, you have to find an angle measure, you're going to have to use the inverse button. So let's cross multiply. The sine of 127 degrees times 42 equals 63 times the sine of b. All right, so if I want to get this by itself, I got to divide both sides by 63. And this is just a big chunk you put on your calculator. First, that's the first thing you do. Put that on your calculator. And you're going to end up with a decimal. I'm going to stop for a minute right there, and I want to make sure you guys are aware of something. And this was actually, might have been the extra credit on the quiz. Okay, so if you look at this unit circle here, this is kind of a side note. Is sine x or y coordinate? Y. Sine is the y coordinate. So if I look at all the y coordinates, let's see, 1/2 as a decimal is what? 0.5. This as a decimal, I don't know what it is, but it's less than 1 if you did it on your calculator. This would be less than 1. This is 1, okay? This would be less than 1, less than 1, less than 1, less than 1. This would also be less than 1, less than 1, less than 1. All of them are less than 1. Could the sine ratio ever be more than 1? No. The decimal form or fraction form of sine ratio will never be more than 1. Okay? So, this is good. We're good. We have a number that works. This could be a sine ratio. It's not greater than 1. Got it? So then, what do I do now to find the angle measure? What do I do to find the angle measure? Thank you, Jason. So I'm going to write this. The sine inverse of 0.5324 of that ratio is going to give me angle B. So you do that on your calculator. And you should get this, 32.2. Did you get it? Okay, C is easy. Add 127, 32.2, and take it away from 180. And so I get about 20.8 degrees. Okay. So we're going to solve the last one here. You have options. It doesn't matter. You don't know side C, but you know angle C. So I would probably set up this same A ratio, sine of 127 over 63. That's my A ratio. And then the sine of 20.8 degrees over C. Do I need to go through the whole showing you how to cross multiply or just give you the side length? Side length is about 28 degrees. Oh no, I'm sorry, not degrees, just 28.0. So you would cross multiply and find out what C is. Is there any inverse involved in this one right here? No, because you're not looking for an angle measure. You're just looking for a side length. No inverse involved. Okay? Okay, we're going to come back to the ASS in a minute. Something to look forward to. All right. When given SSA, it can be tricky. Think A and SSA backwards. Sometimes there's no solution. That's why we refer to it, I refer to it as ASS. Oh wait, I gotta think maybe there'll be no solution with this one. Or if side A is less than side B, then there's two possible answers. So I'm gonna show you this right now. And there's actually an interesting picture in the book, but I'll get back to that. So let's do this first one. Same process, but I'm keeping in mind that it's SSA. I may have a no solution. So I need angle A, I need angle C, and I need side C. I have the both B's, so I'm going to set up that ratio. Sine of 52 degrees over 4.7. I have side A, so I'm going to write the sine of A over 6.5. Okay, cross multiply the sine of 52 degrees times 6.5 equals 4.7 times the sine of A. When I divide both sides by 4.7, something happens. Okay, I'm going to get 1.09 equals the sine of A. Oh, what did I just show you on that unit circle? The sine ratio can never be greater than 1. Okay, so this is an error. There's no solution. Sine ratio can never be greater than 1. It's not a triangle. It won't work. It doesn't make a triangle, that's why. There's no two side lengths, opposite and hypotenuse, that will make a ratio that has a value greater than 1, ever in a triangle. Okay? Does that make sense to you? Okay, let's try another one. What do we notice here? A is what? Less than B, right? Let me just draw you kind of a funky picture. I'm not a very good artist, but they gave me what here? That A was 62 degrees. Something like this. I don't know, 62 degrees. I'm going to say this is A. And they gave me, I'm going to say this is angle B. They gave me this side is 34. And they said A is 32. Okay, so here's the deal. A could be here, 32, correct? The problem with this one, this side is shorter than this side, is that I could take, and I could swing this, if you think about your geometry, and it could actually be here. So there's actually two triangles that would give me the ratios that I'm going to be working with when you have ASS. And I'll show you how to figure that out, okay? I just wanted to show you a picture of what's happening here when you have ASS. You don't know if it's going to be this obtuse triangle or it's going to be an acute one, and I'll show you how you can find out real easy. So let's do this problem. So we need, what do we need? Angle B, angle C, and side C. I have A and A, so let's set up that ratio. Sine of 62 degrees over 32. Don't write too big. Just saying. Sine of B, I don't know angle B, but I know side B. So when I cross multiply here, I'm going to get this decimal, 0.9313 equals the sine of B. How do I find out the angle measure? Inverse, and this is smaller than 1, so I can do it. Inverse is 69.7, so just in case you're not sure, this is what you do. Oh, 0.93813 on your calculator. And you get angle B is approximately 69.7 degrees. So I'm going to write that up here as one option. Okay, now we keep going and we're going to find side C. Oh, well, if we subtract, we'll find out that C is about 48.3. 180 minus 62 minus 69.7. Okay, let's find side C. The sine, I'm going to use ratio B. It doesn't really matter what you use. You could use ratio A or ratio B. I'll just set it up as ratio B. 69.7 divided by side B, which is 34, equals the sine of angle C, which is 48.3, over side C. Cross multiply, you find an angle or a side length. So there's no inverse on this one. Okay, you're finding a side length. So C is about 27.1. Okay, come down here and let's make a box, and we're going to test the ASS, and this is how you test whether there's two triangles that can give you these ratios or one triangle that can give you these ratios. So in my first triangle, I had angle A given of 62 degrees. That's my angle that was given, so it has to be the same in my second triangle. Angle B we found out to be 69.7 degrees. If I find the supplement of angle B, what does supplement mean? 180 minus 69.7, yes? If I find the supplement and I come over here and I write down the supplement, 110.3 degrees, and I check, could I still have a triangle? Could I still have a triangle with these two? It's going to be a real small angle left over, but I can still have a triangle. That tells me that there's two triangles that can be formed with these ratios. Okay? The supplement, let me write this down. The supplement is 180 minus 69.7. That's real small there, sorry. And so then you can just go ahead and do the math and find out that angle C for your second triangle would be about 7.7, I think. Now I'll show you an instance where it doesn't work. And so we found here that, now it's a little confusing because you might want to say, well, isn't it the supplement of this angle? But it's not. You have to consider now they have to add to 180. Okay? So let's go back on the other side, and I'll show you the ASS where it doesn't work. Here. So original triangle, they gave me angle A. That has to be the same for both my triangles, because that was the given. Angle B I found to be 32.2. That's not a semicolon. It's supposed to be 32.2. Does anybody know what the supplement is of 32.2? It's pretty big. It's like 147.8. Oh, wait a minute. Do we have a problem? In this triangle here, do we have a problem? Yeah. It's going to be way that. So that means, that tells me there's only one triangle that can be formed by these numbers. See it? You should always check. When you're given ASS, or excuse me, SSA, always do this little thing to check to see if there's one triangle formed or two. Okay? Oh, we have to do a story problem. Almost done. This is pretty easy, actually. You're setting up a triangular flower garden in your backyard. If you lay off lengths of 15 feet and 11 feet for two sides of the garden, with a 62-degree angle between those two sides. So however you want to draw this, 11, 15, but the 62 degrees has to be between it. What is the area of the garden? I don't know. I didn't know either. But guess what? On page 885, there is the formulas for area, which are on your sheet. Do you see them? I'm going to write them down right here. Area equals 1/2 A times B times sine C. So you have to have side A and B and angle C here. Or it could be 1/2 A times C sine B. So it's based on what you're given. Or 1/2 B times C sine A. So let's just label this like this. So which formula would I use? This is side C and angle C. Yes. Which one would I use? The first one. I have side A and B, and I have angle C. So you just plug it into the formula, into the equation. If you're having an area problem, you just look at what you're given, or you could even label it like I did, and plug it into the right formula. So I'll do that real quick. It's pretty easy. Area equals 1/2 side A, which is 15, side B, which is 11, times the sine of 62 degrees. And that's going to give me the area of that triangle. Okay, and here's what I want you to do for practice. It's not too bad. Even with the quiz and the notes, you got 15 minutes.